Greetings, African people. I'm sharing a childhood memory today that makes me very happy. I grew up in the countryside in Jamaica, and all the people there were either, well, the men mostly did farming, and the women were seamstress. Pretty much everybody worked for themselves, you know. There were no factories there, you know. They just lived off the land, and so everything we needed for survival came from the land. This morning I am making what we call chocolate tea. That's what it looks like. Now, when I was a little girl, we used to make this. Chop the cocoa. Or I'll pick the cocoa from the tree and chop it in two, and the flesh, the seeds inside, they're the pulps. They were like pulps, you know, soft, and you could actually eat it like that, like a candy. What we would do is put it in the sun on zinc and let it dry. And then our parents had this thing they call a mortar. It was like something looks like a tree trunk. They hollow the inside of the tree trunk, carve it out until it's like a deep hole. And then they would make you get a long stick that you'd hold like this to beat. I'm sure you all know what that is. Most of you are from the Caribbean or Africa might know this. And we would beat. So when the cocoa is dried on the zinc, then they would put it in a pot on the fire, open fire, and they would parch it, you know, put it in a hot pot and stir it until it's crispy, and then we'll put it in our mortar and we'll beat it until it becomes this oily, sticky substance. And then what we would do is take it out and roll it into balls and leave them. They dry really fast, but maybe we would use them the next day for tea. Oh, hot chocolate, the real thing. So when we're buying hot chocolate in the supermarket, it's not the real thing. This is. And I'm having that for breakfast this morning. Just a trip down memory lane. You just put the water to boil and you pour this in. And again, I don't usually measure anything and just, you know, go by ear. But usually when you're boiling the tea, when the oil starts to come to the surface, you know it's ready. And see this oil rising to the surface. This is the guy that tricks you, you know, make you think it's cold. If you like milk, or you're able to have milk, the best thing to really sweeten this with is condensed milk, and what other flavors you wish to add to this. But yeah, one of the oldies but goodies, one of the things that I grew up on. The thing about hot chocolate tea, it's not, here we say hot chocolate and we have tea separate, but we used to say hot chocolate tea. When it's ready and you get it piping hot, the oil at the top will trick you. You will think that it is cold, that's why the oil is on the top. Ready to go. Piping hot. Oh, the good old days. Take a sip. Those of you who are Jamaican, or if you're from any place in the Caribbean or from Africa and you know this, you know, say something, give me a little comment. But when you take a quick sip, because you think this hot chocolate is cold or lukewarm, and when you have it in your mouth, it's so hot you can't swallow it and you can't spit it out. How many of you have had that experience? One big gulp and it's so hot, when it goes down in your throat you feel like you're dying, but it tasted so good. So I'm making this morning, hot chocolate, and I'm not using milk or any of that because I'm intolerant. I'm using coconut milk instead. You add some nutmeg, vanilla, and cinnamon to this baby, and I'm brought right back to my childhood. Epiphany of sorts. My childhood days were wonderful. We slept on mattress made from grass and potato sacks, or crocus bag as we call it in Jamaica. We had no electricity. We used those tinning lamp. I'm going to find some of these old things that we had when we were kids and include them in this video. Sometimes it's nice to go back to those days. And though we have come so far in terms of technology, wow, we are more sick, more tired, more disillusioned than ever. It's nice to move forward and to grow. And, you know, bless those individuals who have made strides in improving on how we do things. But the basic things, the way we eat, those things should not have changed. I'll show you the final product. Be blessed, African people. Think on these things.